One of the most crucial aspects of planning a wedding is hiring your wedding vendors. Am I right? From photographers to caterers to your DJ. Each vendor plays a pivotal role in bringing your wedding vision to life. And these are the wedding pros who are going to ensure that your wedding events run so smoothly. So where do you start and how can you be confident in your choices? In today's video, I am going to offer you some valuable tips on how to research and hire your wedding vendors. Hello everyone, it's Poonam here from the Maharani Diaries. Welcome back to my channel. You are in the right place if you are planning an Indian, South Asian, or multicultural wedding. So if you'd like to see more of me on this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss valuable tips on this channel. If you are in your wedding planning journey right now and you are trying to figure out how on earth do I search for a wedding vendor, where do I even start? Believe me, it is a long and arduous task. So in this video, I'm going to run through a step-by-step process. Number one, I'll cover knowing your priorities. Number two, how to set budget expectations when researching vendors. My tip for starting early, asking a wedding planner for help, seeking recommendations. Number 6, consultations. Number 7, how to understand those pesky contracts. And number 8, how to trust the process. Okay, first and foremost, knowing your priorities. It's important to prioritize your needs and requirements before you start this journey of searching for a wedding vendor. Once you've worked out what you most want to focus on for your wedding, you'll understand what are the key vendors you need to book in. Okay, so for example, you may want to invest the most amount of money into hiring a waterside venue in Sydney. So that could mean near the harbour. Or you might want to invest money in an award-winning photographer that you've found on Instagram and you absolutely love their work. How about that violin player that you saw on Instagram or Pinterest who performs so beautifully during wedding receptions? Or that cocktail and mocktail station that you saw on brides.com that looks absolutely epic and you've been eyeing it for the longest time. You get the point. This is honestly a great start. Now that you know what those priorities are, this in turn will help you to work out a budget and build a timeline when it comes to contacting those vendors. Because you don't need to book in all those wedding vendors all at once. You've figured out those priorities. Now it's time to slowly work on the budget. Allocate specific amounts to each category. This, of course, is easier said than done. Like, how do you even know how much things cost? Well, this is where you have to do a little groundwork. If you have hired a wedding planner, they can certainly guide you in this space. But just remember that the bulk of your spending is going to be allocated toward your venue hire, food and beverage, entertainment, and possibly styling, depending on what those priorities are. Remember though, don't compromise on the things that are important to you. There are so many talented vendors out there, and each one comes with their own knowledge and experiences. They will also charge very differently to one another. I know it's difficult to work out what the journey is going to be like with that vendor in the lead up to the wedding, but things like Google reviews, as well as on Instagram testimonials from past brides or grooms. Honestly, just ask the vendor if you could speak to a past client. More often than not, you'll be surprised that they would be more than helpful to lead you to the right person, to have a chat to them and understand how they work, or how they worked with that particular client and what their experience was. Hop on a call with the vendor and gather some information from them, some rough understanding on what you are expected to spend on their service. This will really help you to understand the financial aspect of your wedding and how much money you are really going to have to spend for a hair and makeup artist, a photographer, a DJ, or a videographer, for example. Okay, next, starting early. Start researching your wedding vendors well in advance, especially during peak seasons. For example, in Australia, that would mean summer. This gives you a better chance of securing that particular vendor. If all of this sounds really unpleasant, and it just doesn't fit into your schedule, then now is the time to hire that wedding planner. That brings me to my next tip, which is asking a wedding planner for help. Eliminate all of that guesswork and hire a planner that you can trust and one who can help guide you with making those important decisions. They are skilled professionals who can help you pre-qualify those vendors that fit with your style and personality. They'll schedule appointments, book in site visits, read your contracts, highlight specific requirements, and so much more. Next, seek recommendations or read through reviews. There is no harm in contacting your family members or past friends who have had a wedding. Your venues are also a great resource at this point in time. Referrals are typically the most reliable sources. I also recommend that you find out more about the level of expertise of that vendor. Are they reliable and professional? Do they collaborate well with other venues or vendors? Some other questions that you may want to ask your family, friends, or your venue or other vendors. Are they good communicators? Are their emails clear and concise? Do they speak well? Are they friendly? Did they get to know you on a personal level? How experienced is this vendor? Are they polite and courteous? How easy is the booking process? Are they organized? Like, what systems do they use? As I said before, you can go on Google reviews or wedding directories that these particular vendors are on, or literally Instagram is a great place these days because a lot of these vendors put their testimonials on their pages. Look for consistencies in those reviews and highlight any potential red flags. Also check out their portfolios on their website, or these days Instagram is more up to date. Social proof is so important in 2025, but remember that more followers on that vendor's page does not necessarily equate to quality work. Next, booking consultations before you hire. Schedule consultations with those shortlisted vendors. I recommend shortlisting 3 vendors in each category. Again, ask some of those questions that I highlighted earlier, and maybe this time go into a bit more depth. There's no harm in asking about their expertise and their approach and how they handle working with wedding clients in general. Just consider personality fit. Building personal connections in the initial stages are pivotal for a successful client-vendor partnership. There is also no harm in outlining specific needs. For example, if you are a bride and you need a specific type of skincare routine or skin prep routine before applying makeup, mention that to the hair and makeup artist. Ask them about their step-by-step process. Next, understand the contracts. You must receive a contract or something in writing once you've booked in a wedding vendor. Even if it's an email, that's great. No WhatsApp message, please. An email is a bit more professional. Above all, always keep track of these conversations prior to paying that first deposit. There is nothing worse than a he said this or she said that situation. So what should a contract with a wedding vendor cover? Well, firstly, your name and your contact details. Secondly, the date of the wedding and the number of hours, if applicable to the type of service. Number 3, the details of the service and the deliverables. Number 4, the payment process. 5, cancellation policies. Number 6, the legals and the full terms of agreement. Lastly, trust the process. Trust the process when hiring your wedding vendors. If you don't trust them, don't book them in. But I must emphasize, do not micromanage your wedding vendors. This is their livelihood after all. They also have a life to lead and they don't do this 24/7. Also, wedding vendors work with multiple clients at any given time. They're not just working on your wedding only. They are not servants. Treat them with respect. These wedding vendors live and breathe weddings. So with the right wedding vendor on your side, your wedding is going to be amazing and everything that you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this video, please tell me in the comments. Let me know what your key takeaways were. Once again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Let me know in the comments what your key takeaways are. And also let me know what other type of videos you want to see here. If there are any particular topics you'd like me to cover, I am all ears. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.